my workshop. Today's project, we're going to make a coffee table out of Tasmanian pine. Right, so what I've done, this is going to actually be the coffee table top. I have picked the best parts of these planks that I consider to be have nice figure in it, that would be pleasing for a tabletop. Obviously I picked this for the chicken face. There's a chicken face there. And I've picked this here and this here for there's a slight amount of spalting in this wood, and it's very nice figure in it. Obviously I couldn't, look, this is rotten here. Not happy using that at all, although I could epoxy resin it or something. Just not happy using that. The bow, that's where the bow right is there. There's a big bow in this. I'll just actually flip this up. And if you look down the plank there, you can see that right where that knot is, right there, that's where the main bow is. So I'll use that part of it and that part of it. We've roughly cut our main parts to size. Now this is the tabletop parts that I've chosen with the figure in that I quite like. My legs as well. I don't know whether you can pick that up. There's actually 5 legs there. I had 1 extra. It's always better to have 1 extra than, if you stuff up on one, have to go and glue up another piece and make it. So I always do a spare one. So that's that. So what I'm going to do now, because these planks have rounded corners, and they're a little bit wider than what I actually want, I'm going to now rough mill them in with the table saw, and I'm going to do the same with the legs as well, and then I shall put them through the jointer to get them all nice square, all nice and square. Probably plane them in the thicknesser, and then we will join these up or glue these up with the biscuit joining system. So here we go. the three of these together. Now the easiest method that I know of, easiest and most reliable way of joining these is with a biscuit. And this is a biscuit. Okay. This is a 20mm biscuit. It's 20mm across its body here, and it's 3mm in thickness. Well, that's fairly important. We'll come to that in a minute. This is a biscuit joiner. Now it actually, if I push this in, you'll see the blade pop out there. I'll come a little bit closer to the camera. Okay, see the blade pop up in the middle there? So it's a rotary blade, and it is the same, or it'll carve the same arc or slot into the wood as that, as the arc of this. So it fits in really snug. If you notice, this is hashed or marked, so the glue will take to this really well. There's a few adjustments on this. Obviously you can adjust it to take the size biscuit you want, whether it's 10mm, 20mm. I think that's M is like a standard size. I'm not really sure about that one. I'll have to find out. Anyway, we'll set it on 20mm, and we have the ability to, actually I'll just take this off. This is a secondary fence. If I can get it off. There we go. Okay, so with a biscuit joiner you can actually alter the angle like this to join two pieces of wood at an angle, but in our case we want it up at 90 degrees, or 0 degrees actually, which is just about there, because you're limited to the depth that you can actually put the biscuit in. It's limited to 10mm. We want to go a little bit deeper into the wood because we want to go right to the center of this material, and our material is 43mm thick now. So we need to adjust the depth down. This needs to cut the biscuit in the material. So we put this secondary fence on. A fence, by the way, is a guide. And this one is set at 90 degrees. 90 degrees to this here. And on here we have some measurements, some markings. So the biscuit is 3mm. That is, the material is 43mm. So you set this to the top of the biscuit cut. So that means I'm going to set it 20mm down. So I'll just do that. Okay, so if you can see in those little windows here, you see it's set at 20mm. That means from the top of the material here that this is going to sit on to where the top of that cutter is 20mm. So that means the center of the biscuit is going to be 21.5mm, which is exactly where we want it. So what we do, there's a little pointer on here, and there's a guideline here, and if you see I've marked each position of the biscuit. So you just line up your mark here like this, pull the trigger, we put our biscuits in, and it goes something like this. Plenty in the slot where the biscuit goes. side up. We'll measure down. Measure so far down here. Just want to take 10 mil off this end, which will, just want to take 10 mil off this end, which is approximately there. I'm going to square this off, like so. So we'll cut this off, and then we'll run around with a rotor, with a round over bit, and then we'll give it a last sanding. After squaring the ends off, now we're going to make it pet friendly. Okay, now I've rotated all the edges round, and I've taken out the marks that the rotor tool had actually left behind in the grain. Now I'm going to do some fine sanding, and we'll think about putting a bit of stain on it then.